Everyone got the final, race to 11 frames, Shane Thompson a break.
So here we are, about to get underway with this final of the Forest of Dean Open for 2019. Shane Thompson wins a lag, and not the start he was looking for. Finds the pocket with the cue ball. His opponent is Nick Bell. Nick's just come through a gritty, long semi-final, and I'm joined on commentary again by Dan Bishop. How you doing?
Devastated. I'm alright. I had a good run, and
Yeah.
Shane played really well in the semi, so
He did play well there, didn't he?
yeah.
To be fair.
I missed a couple, but it was a good match, and
Yeah.
two deserving finalists, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of home support here for Nick.
Yeah, it really is.
Plays a lot around here, doesn't he?
Yeah. Ross on one, I think he hails from, didn't he?
Yeah.
Shane, of course, originally Bristol, lives in Bridgewater now. So, both reasonably local. And fair to say that both players played well in their respective semi-finals.
Yeah, good result for Nick against Macaulay, who actually knocked him out in the original double elimination stage.
Yeah.
Made him come through the loser's side and then came back to haunt him, I think.
That was a close game. I think Nick was 5-4 up, so he's won the last 6 frames there.
Yeah.
To win 11-4, and Shane, of course, 11-6 against yourself. So both of them played well. This could be a good final.
Yeah, I don't imagine seeing many missed putts. It's all going to come down to the break and a little bit of who takes control of the match.
Yeah, I think the bookie would probably be pricing up Shane as a favourite.
Yeah,
I'd say
slight favourite.
Yeah, I'd probably price it somewhere around about 4 to 6 to Shane, and kind of 11 to 10, that kind of touch. Not much in it, but
yeah, I think Shane plays a lot more pool than Nick at the moment.
Yeah,
so that's probably just the difference. But
yeah,
definitely,
yeah. Table time. I mean, Shane is always tends to be in form because he's practicing so much for his money matches. Always seems to have a money match lined up.
That was just gone a bit wrong. He meant to cannon the black full ball. He's caught it half ball.
Yeah. And as a result, he's doesn't have any aggressive options available. I'm sure what he's looking at is one rail or bottom rail, side rail, and try and pot it top corner. Is that quite an audacious?
I'm not really sure what he's looking at.
I think he's looking at going bottom rail, side rail, maybe playing the red and flicking off the black to try and drop it in the middle, something along those kind of lines. I think he has to try something aggressive. There's no defensive options.
Oh, great effort. A bit of a thicker contact on the yellow, and that was in the middle.
It really was. Or a slightly thinner contact, and it would have gone top corner. But as it is, he hands over the table to Shane.
Yeah, Shane looking to mop these up. Nick won't be expecting to get back to the table from here.
Can, if he wishes, just nudge the black a little further into open play. He probably won't. Doesn't need to. But, he did have an option there to play the yellow to middle and just nudge the black out. Never want to be moving balls unless you absolutely have to. And the black should be fairly simple enough.
Yeah, just pick your spot now. Work to leave yourself the best angle on the last yellow. Just come the wrong side of the straight slightly.
Yeah,
it shouldn't cause too much
wanted to
trouble.
make sure he wasn't hampered, didn't he? So he's just forfeited position just slightly, just to make sure he wasn't hampered queuing. Just making this black a fraction harder, and of course a little bit of pressure on it with the red ball being hanging over the pocket. But really don't expect Shane Thompson to be missing these. Yeah,
Cued it positively.
did, played it very well, and Shane seems to have settled on this table. We saw him play first thing this morning in the round of 16, and it wasn't a classic performance against Zach Shepherd. Really struggled to find form, struggled with his break, and just generally wasn't happy with his performance. But I fancy he settled a lot better against you. He seemed to break a lot better. Had quite a lot of success off his break actually when he played you.
Yeah, and I didn't have much success
No.
on mine. I did early on, the first two I did, and then it dried up after that. But
Yeah.
you just don't expect to come back to the table when Shane's there. If they've split relatively well, you just go and sit in your chair and admire his work, really. So Zach's involved in the final one way or another.
Absolutely.
Racking up. He said he'd have been playing in the final if he beat Shane. There's nobody else in the tournament that could have beaten him.
Second frame, next battle break, training one, training another.
So this is a race to 11 playing world rules, and they're trading in dry breaks at the moment. Nick broke really well in his quarter-final game, so he'll be looking to refine that kind of form. But so far, 2 breaks, both gone dry. Corey asking what the prize money is. I'll try and find out for you. I'm not absolutely sure. I know there's also a small matter of a Calcutta involved, and I don't think that's I think that's pretty decent money as well. I think it's 1,700 to the winner of the Calcutta, so
Yeah,
pretty good money.
I think John Bishop's got Shane. I think.
Yeah,
I'm not 100% sure who's got Nick.
There's a miss you don't expect to see from Shane.
No, surprising that one.
Fortunately for him, Nick's got some problems. Ball's tied up on both left and right rails. But, we'll see what he can make of this.
Yeah, quite a bit of work to do here. Shane's balls are all potted balls, so I think Nick's going to have a go at them. Might just screw off and try and mistake one by the cushion. Yep, just ran away from him a little bit. think in this sort of situation you can find yourself chasing a finish. That's a clever shot, but he's out of position now. Luckily he's pushed one of Shane's reds safe-ish. Blocking the path for the black into that pocket, in case Shane does get there.
Shane making life difficult, but there is a path through to this yellow nearest the right hand cushion.
Mike King commenting. Yep, it's me, Mike. Thanks very much. Nice to see you watching.
Half a chance here for Shane. If he wishes to, he won't. He's going to stay defensive. You can't blame him.
No.
He needs to find a solution to the... I mean, he could have dropped the red in the middle and left a double on the other difficult red.
Just the black though, isn't it? I think that's why he didn't do that.
Exactly, yeah. He's certainly not forced into attacking yet. He's got a bit of time on his side. Well, now it allows him to move a couple of those difficult balls, and it just leaves the black as the problem.
Yeah, a bit of a careless one from Nick, leaving the plant down the rail.
I mean, Shane could leave an angle here, and I'm not sure he has. I was going to say he could leave an angle to try and nudge into the yellow and push the black down onto the bottom rail, so it goes. He's having a look at it now. I'm not sure he's left that angle, but he's having a look.
I was a little bit surprised he didn't try and move the black off the plant, because the plant's unmessable.
Yeah.
He could have tried to do it with the one over the pocket still there.
It's no good. He was trying to push the yellow onto the black. He tried to force it, but I don't think he needed to hit it at that pace. Really just needed to nudge the black ball 4 inches down the table just so it goes along the bottom. But even had he pushed the yellow onto the black, he'd bought himself some more time by pushing that yellow across.
Yeah, I don't think the black's completely tied up anyway. It still pops into a few pockets. You just got to be very precise with the white.
Yeah.
You won't want to be playing onto the black off the red over the pocket from there.
It'd be interesting to see
Mike King just commenting his allegiance.
So, who do you fancy, guys? Who do you fancy to win? Shane or Nick?
Mike's going for Shane.
Yeah, Mike thinks Shane. Was that lucky?
Tom.
Again, just need any kind of glance.
Tom Key is saying Nick 11-9. Yeah, I think.
He can't get on. The thing is, he can't get on the black from the ball that's over the pocket.
No, that's what I was saying. You wouldn't want to be playing onto the black from that ball.
No, so he's.
Unless he fancies some sort of banana shot to get over that.
Yeah, it's not really Shane's style. You don't tend to see the flamboyant shots from him. He's much more steady. But if he doesn't think that the percentage is there, then there's no way he'll go for it. As in, if he doesn't think that he can land on that black, then there's no point moving the red over the pocket, because at the moment that's acting as the saviour of the game, if you like. It's the blocker.
Yeah, I agree. He's got that safety net white row in it for a sort of 15-20% chance of getting on the black.
Yeah, exactly.
Clever shot.
It's about playing the percentages, isn't it? There are other more flamboyant players who would take that on, 9 times out of 10. Someone like
Jamie Murray.
Yeah. Yeah, or, maybe someone like Lakin or somebody.
Yeah. Very attacking, natural sort of players.
Yeah. Trusting the luck there.
Yeah, he just did the complete opposite of what we were saying about him. Commentators. He had the angle, didn't he, to go into the black?
Yeah.
Expected the red to stay over the pocket.
Playing a double.
Not quite. Luke Wiles commented in earlier on. What's my prediction, says Tom. I reckon it'll be close. I sit on the fence a little bit, but if I had to pick a winner, I'd probably say Shane would edge it.
Controlled that well.
Yeah, good shot.
Should be fairly simple. Just needs to navigate the cue ball. Just can screw straight back now. Or in fact, he had the angle just to run off the side route. 1 frame each.
Second frame, Shane Thompson break, 1 frame off. Long day. Sat down doing nothing.
drive break there from Shane. 3 out of 3 so far.
So prize money is $350 for second and $750 for the winner. So decent old pot. It's certainly worth winning, isn't it? Especially if you've got a little cut of yourself in the Calcutta. I don't know if Bishop shared any of it with Shane, but safe to say, I mean, they travelled up together. Shane's probably got a bit of himself. So, you know, it could be £1,000 paid.
Yeah, definitely.
If he wins. Certainly not to be sniffed at.
Uncharacteristic miss from Nick there. Just handing the initiative back to Shane at the start of this third frame. A few more spectators have made their way into the arena now. Good turnout for the final.
I was saying during the last game, during the match against you, that you know, Shane doesn't mind putting in the miles, does he? I think he was playing a tournament down in Southampton or somewhere in that area a couple of weeks ago. It's he doesn't mind putting in the yards. Some players only enter the bigger events, but you know, it's good meat and drink, these kind of things, isn't it? You expect
Absolutely.
a player of Shane's standard to go deep in these tournaments, and because he's such a consistent player. So yeah. You can carve out yourself a pretty reasonable living.
Yeah, he's become established now as one of the top players in the country, really.
Yeah. Prolific money match player as well. Of course, I mean, he's got an amazing record in money matches. Of course, most recently he's off the back of a loss to Brian Halcrow, but Shane losing in money matches are very few and far between.
Yeah, and he doesn't pick easy games. He can't get easy games.
He doesn't shy away from them, does he?
Yeah, playing top players all the
Beat
time.
Dan Davey twice. He's beat Lakin. He's beat Sean Chipperfield. Not Sean Chipperfield. Sorry.
Simmons.
Yeah, he played Cy Fitzsimmons, and they traded one each. But he played Craig Waddingham with a small start. Yeah.
Sure.
Very nice.
3-ball plant there, using the black in the middle of the sandwich. That's opened it up nicely now. Anywhere on the right hand side of the black spot leaves him on his ball nearest the bolt line. Looks good, nice and straight on that one. Just drop it through for the other one in the middle, I think. Might be just coming back, actually.
Yeah, it looks like he's. Yeah, it's often deceiving.
Yeah, he just played with drag.
Just played a drag shot, which is obviously exactly the same action as the deep screw.
Yeah, it just gives you that opportunity to hit through the ball a bit more, slowing the white down, but hitting it harder in the first place. It's easier to cue than just rolling it.
Much less chance of kicks playing it that way as well, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Good finish there from Shane.
It's a real art, the drag shot. Actually, a lot of people. I don't think enough people play the drag shot enough. I think it's there you go, especially for Mike King. We'll pull some stats up. Not too many to look at yet. Just the odd unforced error from both players. Nick missed one in that last frame, and Shane missed one in the frame before. And the tale of the game so far is incredibly two frames to Shane and 2 dry breaks, and 1 frame to Nick and 1 dry break. So the dry breaks aren't having too much effect on the scoreline at the moment. So
Mike said Shane's on the table more than the cloth.
yeah, this is another one that's going to go dry. Nick was timing him so well in his round of 8 game, and just not finding it at the moment. Gotta say, the Reds look pretty good. The yellow, the black in amongst the cluster of yellows is obviously the problem, but there are a couple of reds around that area that you can use to try and develop. I don't actually hate. No, I was going to say I don't hate yellows, but I do. The only reason I say that is because as you take out the balls around the black, it kind of opens up the next one, and it might be easy to develop. But you've got one on the top rail and one on the side rail that doesn't pass anywhere, so it has to be reds.
So we just needs to decide which ball he wants to disturb the black from, really. Oh, I would have thought he'd use one of the ones beneath the black. And he can use the yellow as a stopper to stay on the other one. That's what he's just looking at now, planning ahead.
We've seen a few of those missed today, and that has to go down as an unforced error from Shane.
The tables, the pockets aren't playing big at all. They're very true, and if you don't hit the middle of the pocket, they're not going in, and that's how it should be. Last week, in the earlier rounds, we had new cloths on, and it made the pockets play quite large.
Yeah,
and not the case today.
I don't think sometimes people can grasp the concept of the difference between a table being big and a table playing big. A lot of people you often see in the chat box of how big are these pockets and
It's just
and so on and so forth. The bottom line is there is a well, to my knowledge, there's a single template to make a Supreme 7x4, and that template is true on any table you go to. But obviously they can vary massively because they can have older cushions, older cloths, and it makes the tables play very, very differently. And even the bed can affect it. Sometimes you have an older bed on the table. When the cloth is new, the ball kind of hits the knuckle of the pocket and slides in, and the pockets accept the ball better, so it makes the table look like the pockets are bigger, but they're actually just playing bigger. I know it's difficult for spectators to appreciate that sometimes when they're watching. They just think that, and it used to be true for snooker as well. When I remember my granddad watching snooker, back in the 80s, I used to sit and watch snooker with him. Even in those days, he had a black and white TV, and I grew up with my granddad. He taught me how to play cue sports. Initially, he was a brilliant billiard player, but I remember him sitting and watching the snooker with him, and he'd be talking about how massive these pockets were on these tables because they were nothing like that at the club. Yeah. And of course, snooker tables can vary, but generally there's not a lot of difference. And the fact is, when you've got a table that's under a lot of lighting and it's warmer and it's in an arena and brand new cloths, often new cushions, etc., especially a brand new table, it's going to play really big.
I can assure you the tables in the club are much more forgiving than the ones that the pros play on. The star tables that they normally play on, I've played on them myself. If you're not spot on, they don't go in. As simple as that. So Mike King's asked, who, in your opinion, is the best player in the world now? I'm not going to let you get away with it.
I was ignoring that.
No, you're not getting away with it. Not with me. One name only.
The best player in the world at the moment. Yeah.
Yep. Where do you pull that fence from to sit on, Nick?
No, I'm not sitting on the fence. I just want to know. I mean, what kind of criteria are we looking at here?
I don't know.
Are we looking at like right now, or are we looking at recent results? Because if you want to know who the best player is right now, it's probably Mark Farnsworth, because he's currently in the final of Murphy's Open, playing Rob Chilton, and he's one of the most consistent in the world. But if you want to know who the most consistent is this season, it's probably Liam Dunster.
Liam Dunster's been incredible the last 12 months.
So I don't know what you want me to say. Well, I mean, there's never one answer to that question, is there?
He's just...
Because there's different criteria.
No offence, Mike said.
No fence.
Yeah, it's a loaded question, isn't it? And
Well, there's so many criteria. If you look over the last season, you could probably make an argument for Scott Gillespie and Liam Dunster. If you look over the last 3 years, you can't argue that it's Mark Farnsworth. If you look over the last 10 years, it's Mick Hill. So it depends what the criteria is. If you're looking at the best player in the world right now, I would say the most consistent player in the world right now is Liam Dunster. In English 8-ball. But my God, I thought Mick Hill was going to win that event this weekend. He was just taking people to pieces.
Oh yeah, I saw some of the stats.
And then he came up against Rob Chilton.
What he did to Darren Appleton was incredible.
Oh, ridiculous.
It's not often you come off the table and say to yourself, well, if I'd dished all of my frames, I'd have still been behind. And that would have been the case for Darren in that match.
What about you, Mike King? Who would you say is the single best player in the world right now?
One name we haven't mentioned is Phil Harrison, of course. Who's
Phil
ultra
Harrison's
consistent
amazing.
on the Supreme Series
Amazing player.
this year.
Certainly in my top 5 of all time. Could make a case for top 3.
That was very unlucky. He played
It really was.
so well. He straightened the red up with side. And
The yellows was just slightly too far away from the bag to make it a big pocket, isn't it?
yeah, he played it too well, really. A bit further away and it was in. If it hit the yellow quarter ball. Yeah, we've opened a can of worms now with the conversation about the best ever. Everyone's having their say. Phil Harrison, Tom Cousins getting mentioned. It's one of those loaded questions that...
Sean James knew. I mean, he mentioned Reinhard Wagner, but the trouble is I fancy Reinhard gets cheated in a lot of games, doesn't he? From what I've heard, is he Reinhard Wagner, the journeyman, isn't he? He's a bit of a hustler, from what I understand. Goes around playing matches all over the place. I've only seen him play once. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, Mike. I mean, I don't think too many people can argue. I mean, Phil Harrison's just The thing I find amazing about Phil is the amount of years he's been doing it. So consistent over so long.
I agree. No real drop in his game at all.
When does he ever have a bad season? I mean, a bad season for him is winning 2 tour events.
Yeah. And he's done it with in the best eras really as well for the game. With the current era, obviously, when you had Gareth and Mick playing on the tours, he was still winning events back then.
And when you talk to him, he's just so down to earth. He just plays it all down.
Yeah.
You know, you say to him, "You're one of the best players in the world." Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. You know, it's he just plays his talent down.
Yeah, lovely guy. Was happy to say hello to you and have a chat. And I remember one of my first tours. I think we were at Hinckley, and I'd taken my girlfriend with me, and we'd gone down into the town just in between games, and the heavens opened, and it was absolutely tipping down, and we started to make the long walk back, and Phil pulled up in his car next to us and told us to jump in. I've never forgotten that. I mentioned it to him at the Supreme Series, and we had a laugh about it. Really nice guy.
What I like about Phil is, I know I've said it before on commentary as well, he's just so professional. If you tell Phil to be there half an hour before, he'll be there 40 minutes before, and he'll just breeze into the event, and he knows so many people, so he'll just take some time to go around, shake everyone's hand and say hello to everybody, and then he'll go about his business. He'll win his match in fine style, and then he'll stick around for 10 minutes and shake everyone's hand and take the plaudits, and then off he goes, wherever he goes, cup of tea and a biscuit, or back to his hotel room or whatever he does, and then he turns up for the next match, and you never see him, you know, he treats it as it should be treated. He treats it with absolute professionalism. You know, whereas others, you see them between their matches at the bar with shots of Jägermeister and so on. It's, you know.
Nothing wrong with that, isn't it?
Well.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it depends what you want to get out of the weekend, doesn't it? I mean, and I think that's just a measure of why he's so successful.
Yeah, you don't tend to find the top players doing things like that. The Phils, the Micks, the Darren Appleton.
No. The Mike Kings. Never see Mike with a pint in his hand. The consummate professional.
Teetotal, I think.
I've heard that. So come on, Mike, you must have I mean, Shane's one of your England teammates. You must have a funny story about him, surely. Not what he was looking to do.
No, not as played.
But it's up there. It's there for Ron, as they say. So. In fact, he missed his target by some margin.
Just wanted one roll of the yellow there, just to get it in front of the red rather than the black.
A couple of people said good shot, but I think no, Shane can play the shot he was looking at playing a second ago. No, so that's okay. I mean, it's a bit of cover in there. Makes things awkward for Nick. Nick's got a couple of balls tied up. We'll be looking to pot this, just nudge it across over the pocket. And now that should buy him the time he needs to focus on this yellow and red that are tied up on the right-hand side. That's the thing that's going to be stopping him from doing any attacking for now. He needs to get that yellow out. The trouble is the red's a dead set plant for the bottom corner, so...
I was just going back to our chat about Phil Harrison, just saw another one of Mike's comments saying Phil has that knack of making you think he's in trouble when he's actually perfect.
Yeah,
on the next ball.
Yeah,
The old shake of the head, you do see it quite a bit.
yeah, he loves it, doesn't he? They call it histrionics. He loves it. Difficult to commentate on because, you know, when I first started commentating on Phil, the first few matches, he'd always catch me out because I'd watch his facial expressions. Oh, he's in trouble here.
Yeah.
He's in trouble here, and he just makes a fool of you because he gets down. He's got a straight one in the corner, and actually, he's looking to the heavens like someone's just stolen his nan's handbag. But actually, he's only half an inch out of shape.
Yeah.
That's a perfectionist in him, though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh no, that's no good. Shane had to be really careful there not to leave the DF, but
The foul snooker.
the foul snooker. Sorry, it's been so long since I commentated on World Rules.
We've got all the lingo.
Yeah,
Yeah, so he has left the foul snooker, but Nick's still got one problem with the ball touching the red.
yeah,
I think that I'm sure the black goes. It's just that ball next to the red. If he can try and get down towards the cushion, he can just double that out from there.
yeah. The problem being, of course, once he picks up the white, it's no longer a foul snooker.
Yeah, he just needs to play a good positional shot and get down there now.
Yeah,
Can't go into it because it's a dead set plant.
yeah. Just needs to get below it, doesn't he?
He needed to park the ball there. It's not the end of the world.
No, it's not. It's not at all. Would have wanted to see it drop, and he's overhit that by a bit of a margin as well. He would have wanted to be probably another foot down the table.
Yeah, near the cushion, really. He's
Yeah,
close to the
yeah,
cushion. But still in control of the frame with the black pocket covered.
yeah. So just really saying, okay, I'll just play the DF and go on then, Shane.
So I think what Shane will look to do here is come very thin off this red he's closest to, take the white back up near the red and black and just play the red onto the yellow to cover that bag and leave Nick a difficult shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that option. Well, it's like he's looking at cushion first to ping it out, but that doesn't really buy him much of an advantage, does it?
I don't think so. I think he needs to get that.
Is he trying to make it? He's trying to make it in the middle, isn't he? He's looking at going cushion first and hitting a half ball off the cushion to the middle.
Yeah.
I quite like your option, to be honest. Yeah, that was...
He's still got that shot on now.
He does, yeah, he absolutely does.
It's just if he played the shot that I suggested, there would be no positional shot for Nick.
Yeah. Yeah, he could have left that red covering that pocket, covering the yellow to the...
Just playing one onto little cannon, one onto the other, the white off the first red into the second one to knock the yellow in.
Yeah, I was going to say, why add that degree of difficulty? Does he need to add that degree of difficulty?
I don't think so, unless he's looking at covering the corner pocket down the bottom right corner. But it's very difficult to get that cover.
Yeah. So he's looking to play a two-way shot to double the red back down, but he doesn't think it's on. I don't think it's a great option, so...
Quite like that shot because He obviously thinks he's coming back to the table.
Yeah. And now he can push the black on top of the red. Yeah.
Nick now has to think maybe he should try and get the black out of there and play the DF, but didn't expect to see such tactical play in this one. It's just how the balls have gone.
Shake of the head. Didn't want to pot that.
Just going to nestle onto this one now. We might see Nick just roll the black down now by the yellow. Like you were saying about Shane earlier, Nick's also not one to push the boat out. He will play the percentage shot most of the time. Just roll the black down. Didn't want to put it too close to the yellow to block it for himself later on.
So Shane really forced into similar shot he played a second ago. Cushion first to get that red out, do you think? Say similar shot. Sometimes you can find the middle bag with these.
Yeah, he hasn't looked at it, but the other shot he's got is to double the black back up there.
Yep. If he could have found some kind of shape with that shot, then he might have had half a chance, because you can land on that blank
Yeah.
into right corner, but it's not come out very nicely.
Tough shot down the rail here.
Yeah. Oh, great pot, but still got problems. He's landed on top of the red.
What a putt that was.
It really was. Fantastic shot. Well, what about this one? Double it. White around the table. 3 cushions.
Treble.
Treble. 3 cushions.
Not quite.
No. Another rabbit's going to have to come out of the hat. Could he get through to the side rail to find the potting angle? I think it's fair to say he probably went for the double there, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely. He just straightened up off that second cushion, which you see happening quite a lot when people go for a powerful double attempt in the middle. Just looking at off the
I
cushion.
think he's
Problem with where the white is, he's got to play it with a bit of side, I think.
yeah. Had he made that, that would have been one of the most ridiculous clearances I've ever seen. But as it is, it's Nick Bell who's going to square things up at 2 frames each. And he does, with no further drama, and it's going to be Shane Thompson that gets us underway in frame number 5. And thanks again to all of the sponsors from today, Coors, who are the official sponsor of the Drybrook, the venue sponsor, shall I say, and the Tower, who are the Forest of Dean Open 29 sponsors. And of course the racker, which has been in use all day today. And they've done a great event. Drybrook Pool Events have put on a real show today. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching.
Seems to be a bit of confusion on the comments over the rules. We are playing world rules today. So yes, the deliberate foul does come into play. Race to 11, Dominic. I quite like these longer races. It's as a player, I'd much rather play a longer race. I think it takes the element of luck out of it. And normally the better player over that distance will win the match.
Oh dear. Just played right across the face of that ball. That was definitely not what was intended. And given Shane a decent look at these now. A couple of tricky balls, but I think everything goes. I think the red on the right side cushion doubles. I think they've all got a pocket, but it's just really tricky to navigate your way around them. It's one of those clearances.
That's the second time off one of Shane's dry breaks that Nick's missed his opening ball.
Yeah.
Really important, that first shot of the frame. If it just gives you control, having first pick of the colours. He's looking at yellows here.
He is looking at yellows.
Got close to the plant.
Don't know if I'm convinced about that. I think, like I say, the reds were tricky, but they all went. They all had a pocket. They all somewhere that they go. But starting off with that much tougher plant. But, as it happens, he's not done a lot of damage. Not really left Nick with any easy opener, I don't think.
No, he's had a bit of a result there after not getting very close to the plant. Nick's just going to play safe, come round, stick to the other yellow, just run past it a little bit.
Don't know if the yellow passes the black to top left corner. Difficult to see from here. So, well, yeah, you can see it does. Whether he wants to take it on or not, it's a different matter.
Yeah, high difficulty in that shot. It's
Yeah.
not a big pocket.
And not a massive reward either, is it?
No.
No, you're right. It's not a big pocket. He'd have to miss it by some margin to actually for that red to come into play. Just And again, playing a little containing shot. It's something when you get when you have a safety battle when there's still 15 balls left on the table.
Yeah, no colours chosen yet.
You know that it's going to be a long old frame. Must be touching ball.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a game of who blinks first and goes for a pot at the moment.
Yeah, I think Shane's going to be going for this one. Isn't he? It's red past the middle. To right middle past the yellow, I think it does.
Yeah, the reds aren't terrible. There's that
No.
one bad one.
Well, now Nick's pushed that yellow to the side cushion. The reds are much more favourable.
Just wants to come on and off the cushion and leave the white somewhere near where the yellow is, to the left of the black spot, just to give himself the angle to move that red out of his next shot. Or just play safe. I never call a safety, so if someone plays safe, well, I'm just a bad commentator.
Reverse double. Makes it. Still a huge amount of work to do in this frame. To be honest, can't see how he can attack from here. Great pot, but don't think he wanted to drop.
No, he's left himself. Much too close to that yellow.
Yeah. But even had he not, he was still in quite a lot of bother.
Yeah, I think he's tried to take the bag.
Foul. Didn't hit a rail.
Yeah, you've got to hit a cushion with either ball if you don't pot one after contact with the object ball. So you hit the cushion before the yellow. That is a foul.
Is rail acceptable, or is am I listening to too much American pool?
Cushion, rail.
I know it's cushion, but I mean, is rail acceptable?
I don't
Because I don't believe in all this nonsense about bank shots and all that absolute putting English on a ball and goodness knows what. But I find myself saying rail all the time now. I'm not sure if that's an Americanism as well, or whether it's just is it a standard thing? I used to say cushion.
I don't think it's a problem, Nick.
Is it not?
No, you crack on with it.
Oh, good. I just just checking. What's the general consensus from the viewers? Is rail acceptable? Is that too much of an Americanism? I'm not having bank. I had someone say bank in a game the other day. I'm not having that.
No way.
I'm not having that at all. He's playing a bank shot. They were playing English pool, and the guy said he's playing a bank shot. I had to turn it off.
smashed the laptop out.
Could have been the best game that's ever happened, but I had to turn off.
What about patterns? Cushion, says Terry Higginson.
Yeah, Terry's not having it.
He's old school though, Terry.
I'm kind of inclined to agree with him, but
Yeah, it's cushion.
I don't know what I can say, Terry. It's in the vocabulary now.
It's cushion, but rail's all right. Bank is not. That's too far.
Bank is definitely not.
English.
English is it's not happening. What other nonsense do they come out with?
Playing the patterns.
Oh, the carom.
The carrot.
He's going for a carom. Behave yourself. Mind you, carom's probably as much nonsense as cannon, isn't it?
I don't know. Yeah, carom. Carom's French billiards, isn't it?
Yeah.
No pockets.
In the meantime, Shane doing what Shane does, and I like clearance really well. What could have turned into a very stodgy frame, he takes it 3 frames to 2. So as always, all we ever ask from you guys at home is just to like our Facebook page, share the stream, and also if you're on YouTube, then please do subscribe to the Beard Productions page. If you've not come across us before, we are Beard Productions. We're on Facebook as Beard Productions. As I say, please do give us a share. It manages to get the stream out there.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? With the streaming, we want to promote the sport. Nick's made a ball off his break there. Could be going for reds. Shot there, just moving the one off the cushion that was near the middle pocket. Didn't go in the middle.
Can't think how many times I've said today that he's faced with a tricky clearance, but this is another one of those occasions. We just been very few and far between where their drop-ins, always little clusters to be dealt with. So many frames today. That definitely goes down as an unforced error from Nick. Screwed straight into that corner bag.
Yeah, I don't know if he thought he was cannoning the yellow there. It was a strange way to play the shot, really.
Yeah.
He must have thought he was going to hit that yellow if he didn't screw it out the way, and concentrated on missing the yellow, lost the white. Shane might play a cannoneer with the first shot.
Yeah, I think so. No, I missed it.
Yeah, he almost missed the yellow. I think that's why the white came off a bit wider than he expected.
Yeah. Looked like he was smelling something unpleasant after that shot, by the look on his face. He tried again, but he was never going to generate the pace to break them open.
Does that yellow pass?
I think yes. Wow. As always, when you look from a different angle, it just gives you a slightly different perspective. Well, yeah, look, from that angle it does. From the overhead, it looks like it doesn't.
I think it's tight enough that he'll want to just roll it if he is playing it.
Yeah. Doesn't need to though, does he? He can play a double and nudge the other yellow out at the same time. He's still got carrying the two shots.
Yeah.
But the only problem is he still needs to land on that yellow. He can develop both here. Clever shot. Would have wanted to make that ball, but even so, just develops everything.
Yeah, I'm sure that yellow passes into the corner anyway, so if he can get down the table far enough.
Oh, if it goes to the corner, then he should be absolutely fine.
Oh, it's quite tight.
Yeah, I think it is tight. Not sure that goes, you know.
Well, now in a couple of shots' time, he's just pointed his cue there, so he must think it goes.
It's either that or he's going to clear the path, and it must go. There you go. That answers the question. He's just going to screw back off the side rail. Back into open play, and it should be framed to Shane Thompson.
Yeah, punishing that unforced error from Nick earlier on in the frame.
Yeah. That really was a mistake from Nick. And it's going to be Shane's break, of which he has really, really struggled with on this table. The only time he found any rhythm with his break was, sadly for you, against you.
Yeah, cheers for that, mate.
Yeah. He's had 3 breaks here, and all of them have been dry. As you can see, no break and dish yet. No reverse dish, and those 3 unforced errors from Nick have been key to the scoreline. Shane.
Hope you didn't put that stat up when I was playing Shane, the unforced errors.
We did have an unforced errors column there, yeah.
Oh, no.
We ran out of counter, it only goes to 99.
Oh, no. You need to get the triple digits in for the...
No. I don't think it was that bad.
Nice to see Liam Parry in the crowd watching on. He was a bit worse for wear last Sunday at the opening stages at Oaklands. He had a little lie down at one point on one of the sofas. See another dry break. So Nick nearly needs to take advantage this time. He's not really capitalised on Shane's dry break so far in the match.
I'll tell you what is a dying art nowadays. Saying please. I'll tell you something that annoys me more than anything when watching pool is when they haven't got a scoreboard or someone wants to know how many the race is to or how much they're playing for. They just go, score? What's race?
Yeah, manners cost nothing. I agree.
People just demand. The art of saying please is a dying thing. It's like when someone stops you in traffic and they just drive past you without just the merest sticking their finger in the air to say thank you. I mean, that's another dying art.
Yeah, a bit of a bugbear for you there.
Yeah, well, there's not too many things I get on my soapbox about, but
Happy birthday, Sarah Reid. 52 today.
absolutely.
He did say please, yeah. He did say please, that's why we read it out. What better way to spend your birthday than watching the Forest of Dean Open final?
Fantastic. Hope she's had a wonderful birthday. Took her out for a nice Sunday lunch, I hope. Little unwanted flick. And the frustration is palpable.
Gone for the double, but missed it, leaving all of the yellows in open play.
I know William is obviously speaking in jest there, but that's my other favourite. When people are asking for the score, when it's in great big bold letters right at the bottom of the screen, that's another funny one. What's the score?
284. So
Yeah. Yeah. 284. What do you think of the Beard Production new graphic? The new scoreboard that we've got here.
Very professional, yeah.
First time we've trialled this, Paul's got that giant 8-ball on the table.
yeah, it looks good.
I like it, yeah.
Obviously not good enough for some people to
Stand out
see
colours.
the score. But no, it's really good. The whole setup's amazing.
No.
Bit of a
Not quite sure what happened there.
bit of a mistake from Shane giving Nick a look at that one, really.
Yeah.
But he hasn't capitalised again. Someone in the crowd thought that black was going in, I think.
See, Caleb's seeing holes in your plan here, Paul. People are going to think it's a race to 8.
Well, it says race to 11 at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, it does flash up race to 11 at the bottom.
It certainly does.
Nick didn't like that, did he?
Yeah.
He bit a bit then,
He
didn't
did. Oh no, he does bite. Yeah, no. You can definitely get a bite out of him. If you start criticising his work, then he'll have a nibble. He's under-hit this one. Now then, can he hold? I'm going to play the double, I think, isn't he? Or can he? No, he can hold.
Good shot.
Can hold easily. Yeah, very nice shot.
They just need cue in those, don't they?
Yeah,
You've
of
got to
course.
just deliver the cue straight.
Yeah, yeah. Thought from the other camera angle it was a bit of a wider angle than that. But this is nice from Shane. Well, someone was happy about that.
William, I can assure you, having played on the table and that their pockets aren't big, the odd shot, they can look like they're sucking them in, but you have to be pretty spot on for that to happen.
William's just picking up on all my bugbears today.
Yeah.
I'm not biting.
Nice break there from Nick. Couple of little obstacles.
Mm. Now, if he goes reds, it's like he's probably got an angle to be able to develop this one difficult one straight away, is he?
I don't know. Oh, that was a clever shot.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, I thought if he tried to pot the red clean, he might just be coming a little bit high of that red, so that was a great shot to do that.
Yeah, and that really was the key to the frame. This should be fairly plain sailing. He's got to put in the yards with the cue ball. The first few shots should be fairly dot to dot. Just needs this. Yeah, absolutely perfect for the first one.
Yeah, Shane's starting to open up a bit of a gap now, so Nick could do with taking these.
Yeah. Yeah, he really should be there, shouldn't he?
Yeah.
This is a very makeable clearance, but straight away he's just landed betwixt and between there. They want to be 3 inches lower or 3 inches higher, really, to be ideal. Then he could have rolled, if he was 3 inches lower, he could roll the one into right centre and hold on the one for bottom corner. 3 inches higher, he could roll the one to the left centre. Now playing this, that was always going to be the problem.
Just needed to cannon that yellow full ball, didn't he?
Yeah.
Making a bit of a meal of this.
Adding a high tariff of difficulty into what should have been a really makeable clearance, just for a really careless positional shot. Suddenly, from being odds on to make the clearance, he's struggling. It was a nice pop, but it was just another ball off the table.
There is a gap between those two yellows if he can land on it when he plays this double.
A gap to find the potting angle, do you think?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think he's on it.
If there is a gap to the potting angle, he's got it. Yeah, I think you're right. That really was a great shot. Needs another one though. This one's really tough.
Yeah, he just needs to screw off the side of the yellow out for the black.
Oh, what a shot.
Cued it lovely. Cue went through nice and straight. Nice acceleration through the ball.
I tell you what a recovery. That was brilliant.
Yeah,
Absolutely superb. That was he was really struggling in the middle there. Look at this for cueing. Lovely.
Shot of the match for you.
Yeah, that yellow took all the energy out of the cue ball and landed perfect. Great shot from Nick. And that was a must-win frame for him. And win it he does.
Ryan Gretwell in the crowd eating his crisps. Rich Hopkins, Lee Fox. A lot of local players. All three of those are from the Forest. Top players around here and came to support Nick in the final.
I saw Mandeep was watching on earlier, and I don't know if they're still here. But,
yeah, there he is. Mandeep, Tom Clothier, John Bishop and Liam Parry. All watching on with interest.
yeah,
I think,
all got an interest in the Calcutta, I think, haven't they?
Yeah, I think
Probably,
Mandeep's got Nick.
I think. Who did Tom have? Tom had Ben Holly. Yeah, Mandeep's got Nick, I think. Yeah, and of course, John's got Shane. I think John got in a bit of a bidding war with Casey. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah. But it's obviously paid off now that he's in the final.
Yeah.
That was our first break dish of the match, wasn't it, from Nick in the last one?
It was. There's a bit of no man's land.
Looking at playing it off the yellow, just to make it a bit of a thicker potting angle, control the white a bit more.
Oh, someone's having a little snooze in the background there.
Sab Webb, isn't it?
I think that's an insult to that gentleman, isn't it? Maybe I don't know, he looks about 20 years younger than Seb Webb.
Definitely got more hair under that hat. Shane managed to get the bag with that little shot.
Absolutely certain Nick was playing to cover the bag there. It just hugged the rail all the way down. It's clever.
Keeps potting.
Yeah, but he's maybe putting himself into trouble.
Yeah, I think so. Just a couple of people asking their prize money again. $750 to the winner and $350 to the runner-up.
Plus the small matter of 1,700, I think it is, to the winner of the Calcutta.
So the Calcutta's over the last 12 months become massive since the Supreme Series, hasn't it?
Yeah, everyone's after, aren't they?
Yeah, every comp with more than 32 players now seems to have a Calcutta.
Yeah, I mean, there's people make arguments against it. People make arguments for it. Personally, I like it. It adds another dimension to the event. It adds another layer of interest. I mean, if you've got an event which has got a bookmaker, a Calcutta, and some decent prize money, and maybe a couple of sponsors and a stream, I think you've just about got the perfect recipe there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It adds interest for the players, the spectators, the viewers online, and also gives you a chance to have a financial interest. If there's a bookies, you can just have a small bet, like a tenner or something, so you're not too deep in the hole. If you've got money to burn, then you can buy yourself a couple players in the Calcutta. It adds a dimension for everyone. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's just taken off really. Has it been going quite a long time? Have they been doing them in other countries or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean it's been. I think it originally is from India, I believe, and that's why it's called a Calcutta.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I can't remember what sport they used to use it on, but I think hockey. I think I'm right in thinking it's hockey. But it's been pretty huge in the States for a lot of years, and also in Australia. They use it a lot in Australia. America, they have it on most events. The Calcutta tends to happen in the room on the day, so all the players will turn up, all the fans will turn up, anyone who wants involved in the Calcutta will turn up, and they'll hold the auction before the event even starts.
Yeah.
And then the player then knows who the owner is, and he can walk across to the owner and say, right, it's mandated that you're allowed to buy 50% of yourself. So if the player wishes to, he goes over and tells the owner, I want to buy 50% of myself, and you can buy it at cost. Over here, obviously, we do it slightly different. We do it all online. I think the history of the Calcutta, I mean, is that old. You wouldn't have had things like Facebook Live and these kind of things to be able to do it with the. These are quite wide now, aren't they? The interest is far and wide, and it'd be nice to take it a little bit more mainstream, and maybe even, make a professional Calcutta with sponsors on board. Maybe get sponsors to sponsor the Calcutta and make it a production in itself.
Yeah, I've seen certainly some people who've got the talent for doing it, like almost like an auctioneer. You have to obviously have a lot of knowledge about the players that you're auctioning off. And
yeah, I think the problem for me is quite a few of the Calcuttas, they almost seem to, the auctioneers want to add novelty value in some way, and I don't really understand why. They try to make it some kind of novelty. They put some kind of character up to turn it into a novelty factor. And I mean, for me, I think if you make it absolutely professional, all the graphics online, player profiles up, I think there's a lot to be said for that, because then you give it credibility, you give it some kind of mainstream credibility, where you could even get, as I say, you get sponsors involved to sponsor the Calcutta itself.
Yeah, you're certainly reaching a wide audience for a sponsor, because obviously it brings in players that or people, punters that can't get to the event.
For me, the more mainstream you make it, the more chance you've got of getting more people involved in bidding. And then, who's to say that you won't start getting professional people like bookmakers and things like that showing an interest in buying players? The bigger the pot, the more interest is going to be generated.
Yeah.
Once you start getting to the point where it's 50, 60, 70,000 pounds for first place, which isn't beyond the realms of happening. If you had a 200 grand Calcutta, then the winner's getting 70.
Yeah.
And then you're in the realms of you get some big players interested in that kind of money. But obviously, you always have to be careful because you have to make it that there are obviously unscrupulous characters in everything you do. People have robbed their grand for 50 quid, so what they do for 70 grand, it's there's always a danger, but there's a danger in every sport, isn't there?
Yeah, when it comes to that type of industry.
We see it in snooker, we see it in football, we see it in cricket, we see it all over the place. We see corruption. Wherever there's money, there will always be corruption. You just need to be careful. Me personally, Mikey, I'm not into I'm not cress. Nice egg sandwich, I'm up for that, but I'm not digging the cress, I'm afraid.
No, terrible sandwich that is, egg cress.
Just gets stuck between your teeth. I don't really find there's a place for it in the world. It's
not for me.
It's a fungus, basically.
I think Mikey's probably a bit hungry because he's mentioning food quite a bit on the old comments. Get the dominoes in.
Anyway, we digress. Because in the meantime, Shane is working through another clearance. Just needs to play this gently, touch aside, come into the gap. Very nice. No drama. If you see that long cue action again.
I think his delivery of the cue is anyone watching who wants to improve and get to the standard of these players, you wouldn't go far wrong trying to match his cue action, because his delivery of the cue in a straight line is incredible and smooth.
I think he's got all the fundamentals. He's got a good stance. His back arm is delivered straight through, and these are the things that make the best players, make them consistent. You have to have the fundamentals from. When you're under pressure, those are the things that you rely on.
Yeah, you go to your routine.
Yeah.
And Shane's is rock solid.
You see the people that have the unorthodox cue action, when it's going well for them, it's fantastic. It looks brilliant, and they can pot anything. But as soon as the pressure comes along, then you're absolutely reliant on all those: your stance, your delivery, your cue action, your muscle memory, all these things, all the fundamentals that. Even the way you approach the table, which is why somebody like Liam Dunster is absolutely so. It doesn't matter if he's potting a ball the length of the table or he's got one set over the bag. Simple black. It's the same preparation for every shot.
Yeah.
Gives every shot the same respect.
Much like Ben Flack in that mould. Every single shot, same routine.
Yeah.
And, it was obviously on.
James is asking, what is the ideal Sunday? Well, I must admit, I do enjoy a bit of commentary, but the ideal Sunday for me is probably spend a bit of time with the family, a nice cold day, put the fire on, and spend a bit of time with the family, nice carvery, perhaps a couple of pints.
Mine would be playing a pool comp and Man United winning on the same day.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Can't argue too much with that. Well, maybe the Man U bit, I'm not. Well, today's a perfect day for you, then, isn't it?
Well, if I beat Shane, maybe.
Yeah, well, you played a pool comp and Man U won, so.
Yeah. All the ingredients. Of it.
Yeah. Just could have done with winning the comp.
Can't win them all.
No.
Good shot there from Nick. Just playing it firm enough for the white to come off the cushion, make this black a bit easier. Back to 6-4.
And our apologies to everybody. We had the internet drop out in the club, which is always a problem. We're at the mercy of the Wi-Fi, and as can happen now and again, it went down. So you'd lost us for a few seconds there on Facebook and YouTube. You missed a breaking dish from Nick, or the last few shots of a breaking dish from Nick. And now it's 6 frames to 4. If you've just had a notification and you're just joining us, then you're watching Beard Productions' stream of the Forest of Dean 2019 Open. This is the final between Shane Thompson and Nick Bell. And we're live at the Drybrook Sports Bar here in Drybrook, Gloucestershire.
Not sure what Nick's played there, to be honest.
I think he was trying to send the cue ball into the yellow that was nearest the bag, trying to cannon the yellow in. But all he's managed to do is open up the table. I think the stream went down just as we were talking about our ideal Sundays. James asked what it was. You were saying yours is a pool comp and Man United to win.
Yeah.
That's a good Sunday for you.
And avoid the misses as long as possible.
Bit of commentary. Don't mind a bit of commentary. Especially these kind of events. I think this is the first single day event we've done on a Sunday. They normally, the single day ones. Oh no, we've done the tour events, the Southwest Tour Sundays, I think.
They're Saturdays or
Are
something.
they Saturdays? Oh, they're Saturdays, yeah. So this is probably the first one we've done on a Sunday.
Not a single day event though. We had last week's.
Oh yeah, no, I don't.
qualifying.
Yeah, I mean.
Single day of streaming.
Yeah, single day of streaming. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, most of them finish on a Sunday, but they tend to start on a Friday or a Saturday. You know, you're there for a couple of days then, but it's quite nice. Apart from the fact Still got a 2-hour drive home and get up for work in the morning, which isn't ideal. But
That was a good shot.
was a nice shot.
Where's home for you then, Nick?
I'm in Somerset. I'm down in Somerset.
So the southwest towar's a local one then?
Yeah, yeah.
Shane does well on that tour, doesn't he?
He does well. Yeah. It's very competitive, actually. Really competitive when you think you've got Mike King, Greg Batten, Darren McVicker.
Yeah, I played on it for a few years up until this year. I'm not on it this year, but a really good tour. I really enjoyed it, and just work commitments really why I didn't go this time.
Yeah. Of course, Oli Bell plays on it, and Nosco, Josh Corkett. There's Jez Graham.
I think Ben Flack's played a couple of events, hasn't he?
He has,
this time?
yeah.
Good finish there from Shane.
The Southwest is really competitive for Paul, I think. Really good standard.
And Shane probably at the top of the pile or
Near there, yeah. Arguably between him and possibly Greg Batten. And Jason Twist, of course, from the same area. Produced some great players over the years.
Frame, Nick Bell's right, train 7 frame 4.
Dry. Oh no. That one didn't spot racing towards the middle bag. Comes to his rescue.
Just to reiterate, the prize money on offer, 750 and 350 in the final, as well as the Calcutta. Getting towards the business end of the match now. With, Nick will hope that it's the midpoint, I suppose.
Yeah. Mikey asking if he thinks that pool would be more interesting if people played naked. Well, I don't think I want to watch Shane Thompson bending over the table. I'll be honest.
No, not.
It's not a sight that I even want in my mind. But now it's there.
It's there now.
I can't get out.
I wonder if that was what the monster was on Bird Box. Makes you want to kill yourself.
Oh, goodness me. That's going to stick with me now. Shane Thompson reaching for a long shot, bridging over.
Whatever turns you on, Nick.
I don't necessarily want to pick on Shane here. I'm just going to put that out there. It could be anyone, but Shane happened to be at the table.
Decelerated a little bit on that one.
Did you? Mikey's now responsible for a couple of hundred people picturing that same image. I think you owe everybody an apology there. Paul's actually beating himself around the head here trying to get the image out.
Have to tattoo your sponsors on, wouldn't you?
Oh dear.
Be hundreds of men with Jason Owen's name tattooed on their back.
No. Well, an unwanted miss, but not a disaster. It's covered the bag. Again, one that you don't expect to see him miss.
Just needs to mess the table up a bit somehow. Not going to get 2 shots with that one.
No. Yeah, it really just gave Shane a free shot to develop one of his difficult ones and leave Nick in a spot and bother.
Might be a case for just doubling the red up onto the black.
I was just thinking similar, or even maybe just going for the long double. No, taking your... Not sure the long double was on, to be honest. I think it was probably the double kissed.
Yeah, just a few inches short of where he wanted to be.
I think Shane's just going to go for the clear and leave the double on the black.
Yeah, it looks that way. Just screw back this one in the middle. And you can just drop the one into the corner and leave the double. Good shot of Shane's cue action there. Nice acceleration right through the white.
Was he looking at the double here, or was he looking to develop? No, just looking for the double.
Big pocket for the double, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the new cushions have been sliding a little bit, so you just got to be a bit careful.
Yeah, needs to miss it low if he's going to miss it. No good.
To the
Way
opposite,
too high.
didn't
yeah.
slide at all. I think he was expecting it to slide a bit, and it didn't. Seb didn't look impressed with that one, did he? This would be fine if the white wasn't on the cushion. It just makes the cue ball control so much more limited.
Well, that was it's landed okay, but well, has it?
You just need to get enough topspin on to
Yeah, can he avoid?
flick off
Can
the
he
black.
avoid the black?
You just have to flick off it.
Yeah, not good enough.
Didn't get the topspin.
Yep. When they're that close together, very difficult. Yeah, good. Nice from Nick. Good double.
Important frame for Nick as well,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, still in it. Just 2 frames behind. Is Shane going to be breaking the next? Shane's deciding to rack his own.
Frame 13, Shane Thompson break, and 7 frames to follow.
Try to break that from Shane.
That now his 4th dry break out of 7 breaks.
Yeah, those look quite nice as well. No obstacles really. Just got to keep good control of the white ball. These are the ones that Nick doesn't seem to miss. When you're playing against him, you sit there thinking you're not getting back to the table, so he just needs to do that again this time. Nick nearly actually pulled out of the event before the start because he said he wasn't playing well enough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's had a bit of time away from the game. I think the club he used to practice at closed down, and struggling to find places to practice. But I think he's been playing up here a little bit.
I wish I was playing as badly as him.
Yeah, certainly shows that he's been putting the hours in lately. No dramas with this finish. He's taken them well, just picking his spot for the black.
Gone about this well, executed it really well.
Yeah, that's the bread and butter finishes for Nick.
Yeah.
He just doesn't seem to miss those.
So that was his third break and dish. Oh no, that was Shane's break, wasn't it? Sorry,
Yeah, that was
wasn't
a
break and dish.
reverse
That was a
dish,
reverse dish. Sorry. Next break next. Yeah. So it's actually back on serve, isn't it? So I mean, really, the tail of the game so far are the extra unforced errors from Nick, because those dry breaks should really have punished Shane on those dry breaks. But as we've said all day, the table's not been breaking. You know, they don't go wide open even when you go dry. So
Yeah, a couple of times he's just missed that first ball. When Shane's broke dry, he's just missed the first ball trying to choose the right colour.
there's another one there that didn't time it particularly well, but actually that's not a bad break. The Reds, well, aside from that one ball just below the black, the Reds all go. And actually, if he can shift the yellow that's next to that red will then go into bottom left.
If he was a bit further off the cushion, he might have played that shot here, but he can't get into the white. So just going for the slightly higher red.
Oh no. Well, I say oh no. Let's not excuse our producer. He's allowed one mistake a day. That was it. Any more, and he gets his wages docked. I say that, I mean he pays the wages, so. But he will get penalised. Little shot over Shane's shoulder of him using the white town chalk. Now I'm looking at Shane using this white. Oh, wow, straight in.
That's that slide again on the cushion.
Yeah, I'm looking at Shane using this white chalk, and I saw it during the first match today. Then when both players were using the white chalk. Now, there's an argument that says use the white chalk, and then you won't see the blue marks on the cue ball. But surely, if you've got a chalk mark on the cue ball, you want to see it, don't you?
Yeah, good point.
And you're not going to see it with the white chalk, because if you've got like a big chalk mark on there, you want the ref to clean it so you don't risk a kick. Well, there's a shocking miss there from Nick with ball in hand, with two shots.
Yeah, with ball in hand as well. So
with ball in hand,
no
yeah.
excuse for that one. Definitely an unforced error.
Oh, he's going to play the same shot that he did a moment ago.
Just adjusted. Got it right that time.
Yep.
Nick will be furious that he didn't take advantage last time when he was given 2 shots.
You see the Forrester poster that they've made up. It's big as well. Really good. Got all the players to sign it.
I see your signature on there as well, I think.
There is my signature on there, yeah. Don't quite know why they wanted it, but there you go.
Part of the event. Guest of honour.
That was a foul. Didn't hit a cushion after making contact.
Yeah, Andy Press Coleman saying Ryan Crockwell still eating. He hasn't stopped eating since he got in here. Ryan's got a tab behind the bar for just crisps.
Very good from Russ Corey. McBell dropped a clanger. There must be some good bell lines that we can get in there.
Yeah. Lots of puns.
Must be.
Not all clean.
There was a thread on Facebook which there were a couple of guys who started making sentences out of my name, first name and last name, like little puns, and it must have gone on for about an hour. It went on, and then a couple more people joined in, and there were 4 or 5 of them going at it. And I've never seen anything like it. I mean, my phone was just like literally notification after notification. There was literally about 200, maybe more. Just went on for like an hour. These guys were so inventive, it was ridiculous. Paul remembers seeing that, obviously.
Best day of my life.
Best day of his life.
What was your favourite?
I knew you'd enjoy that. I knew Paul would be absolutely loving that. I can't remember half of them, to be honest. There were so many. There were some really good ones, actually. But,
Oh, snooker, I think there.
thanks very much to Andrew Sheldon for your kind words, and coming from the brains behind the Player Series, the technical guru.
It's a good shot from Nick there. He's a bit unfortunate. He's nominated that yellow as the foul snooker and played it off the cushion to clear the pocket. Could have hoped for it to come out a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's close.
Oh no. That's another one. There's 2 in the frame. Couple of clangers. It's a big frame as well, isn't it? I mean, this is the first time that Nick's managed to get himself back on serve.
Yeah.
So guys, please don't forget to like and share the stream. Also like the Facebook page. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. That's all we really ask from you. There's a share button just at the bottom of the page on Facebook, and all we ask you to do is just press it. I'm sure there's people on your timeline who would enjoy watching the closing stages of this final. He's underhit that one just about. He didn't actually underhit it, did he? He just flicked the bit of unwanted flick on the red on the way past, which has killed the pace.
You should be okay. Just going to have to play a little gentle cannon.
Cannon into that red. Wants the cannon at full ball, doesn't he? Oh, he's cannoned into the black. Yeah, that's fine.
Either ball fine there,
Either
full
would have
ball.
been fine, yeah. He's shaking his head.
Looks okay to me.
It does look okay. Maybe the angle is just slightly more acute. Maybe the way he wants to play it, the white's tracking towards the middle bag.
Yeah, maybe the knuckle.
Yeah, I saw him play with a touch aside. Played it really well. And as I say, that was a big frame. Nick had just got himself back into the game. And now he finds himself 2 behind again. In this race to 11, with advantage Shane Thompson. We talked about the best players in the country earlier, and big congratulations to Mark Farnsworth on winning the first event of Murphy's Tour. What a player he is. Been fantastic over the last 3 or 4 years, isn't he? Absolutely prolific.
Yeah, consistency is the key, I think. It's he's always at the latter stages of events, and if not winning them.
I've said it so many times about him. The only way I can really describe him is clinical. He's just so clinical. When he's on a clearance, just so rarely makes a mistake. Keeps it so simple. Another dry break from Shane. That is number 5. Shaking his head.
Yeah, it doesn't look happy about something. I don't know if it's just the break. Ryan Cripbar's just opened another packet of crisps in the crowd.
Are we on crisp watch?
Yeah, he's getting through them. Nick looking to take advantage of the dry break this time. Seems to have the white where he wants it at the moment. Just come down the cushion a little bit. One of the ones in the middle. That looks perfect. And the yellow over to the right hand side goes through the gap into the corner. Just needs to screw on and off the cushion here, out to the middle of the table. Pretty good. Just done with another couple of inches. Should be alright. He's just looking at playing that last yellow into a different pocket now because he's given himself too much angle on this second last one. Might play for the yellow in the middle. It's a nice shot. It's a nice reverse dish from Nick. Back on serve.
Yeah, he's punishing these dry breaks from Shane now, and you feel with 5 dry breaks to his name now, Shane really does need to maybe even try something different. Maybe try a cut break or something, because if Nick can find another dish in this frame, or somehow win this frame and get back on level terms, he will be taking advantage of Shane's dry breaks.
Yeah, Nick's now got himself into a ding-dong battle, you could say.
Very good. Very good. You've been waiting to get that one in, haven't you?
About 4 frames.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah. The bell will be tolling for Shane Thompson if he can't start breaking.
This is where you want a break dish, isn't it, if you nick about.
Yeah. He'll be looking to ring the changes.
That white was going close before it got kicked back out of the way. Nice to see Kev Agnew watching, supporting Nick. Another good local player. It's a clever shot, purposely knocking the red onto the yellow to flick it out of the cushion. I think the yellow that's next to the red does go into the bottom left-hand corner as we look at it. Just needs to land somewhere around the middle of the table. Might play it now. He's just moved it, so that makes me think maybe it didn't go.
Just be careful now, he's hamper queuing, and I think he can probably just drop this in and hold the line for the yellow back in the middle bag. But he needs to navigate from one. He may have to double one of these. I'm struggling to see how he can get from one to the next, even if he drops this one in the corner. How does he then pop the one to the left middle to get back over the one for right middle? I think the angles are too acute.
The double's the shot
Yeah,
now, really, because
it
he lands on the other ball.
Yep. No.
Not quite.
Had a little touch with the yellow going in the path of that red. Shouldn't cause Shane too much of a headache. He's got a couple of balls he can use to get on it. The other thing, that, of course, that comes into these long days is stamina. And, I mean, Nick looks like a fit kind of guy, but probably not match fit.
No, maybe not as match fit as Shane, yeah.
Been away from the table for quite a long time, then he's maybe just feeling a little jaded.
Good shot with some right hand side just to straighten out the cue ball. May decide to play onto that one in bulk now. If he overruns it slightly, he's got the long shot.
I mean, from that angle, it looks like it passes the yellow, but from the other camera angle, I'm pretty sure it didn't. No, it can't.
He's played the shot.
Yeah, he's tried to get on it.
Just short. I think this still goes long, the other one. Just below the white.
If not, he's got a little plant. I think he'll probably take the one long because it gives him position on the. He just needs to screw back for the one on the bulk line. No, there's another miss. Couple just creeping in here from both players.
That's the first one he didn't quite cue as well as he normally does. Just seemed to hit at it a little bit. Tricky first shot, but if he gets it, the rewards are there. Didn't seem to commit to that one.
Wow. The unforced errors are racking up for both players.
Yeah, they're just creeping in. Sometimes it can be a bit contagious, can't it? If you
Really?
miss a couple of balls, your opponent misses a couple, it just catches a little bit. But Nick will want to put a stop to that now.
Again, Shane's not left him anything particularly easy.
I think he can play the one he's just pointing his cue at quite slowly. If it doesn't drop, it's a little bit of a insurance for him.
Yeah.
And if it does drop, he should be nicely on the other one by the black.
I think he's playing this with pace. Yeah.
Just wanted another foot with the cue ball there. Just to make this an absolute gimme. Still expect him to get it.
Yeah, he should be fine. Cue ball up and down.
Perfect.
Yeah, judges that really well. Big margin of error high, with no real margin of error low, so yeah, judged it perfectly. And there we go. 8 each. Shane's break in frame number 17.
Best of 5.
Seventeenth frame, Shane Thompson break, 8 frames all.
Finally.
And a nice break as well.
Yeah. Bit of anger in that break.
Yeah, just desperate to make a ball. After so many dry breaks, you just don't know what you have to do sometimes to make one. And, he's made one there, and the ball's just have fallen very nicely for a change.
Just playing to an area where now he's got choices of 2 or 3 balls. Take your pick. You could probably be playing the one just to the left of the... Well, I was going to say he's going to make a mug gimme now. So he's going to play the one just to the left of the black spot and stun across for the red to middle. But that's what he's going to play now. Just needs to stun across to the yellow, onto the yellow. Sorry. Just let that go. Need the cannon. To be honest, I don't think he really needed to play at that pace. He could have just gone over and kind of rested on the yellow. He's played it to cannon at full ball.
I just got through the white a bit too much.
Yeah. Now that makes it really tricky. You can still play it long. You can cut it to middle. He's got the option of the red to the left centre, but I don't think he'll want to play that. He's going to take the more difficult long pot. It's not there. Played it with that element of safety. Make there's a couple of balls towards that side.
I don't think they're close enough to that pocket for it to really cause him too much trouble.
Definitely shouldn't. In fact, should really be taking the lead.
Yeah, that was a massive let-off, really, from after Shane had such a nice break. I think he was odds-on to clear them. Nice angle on this one now. Just screw across onto the side cushion.
And it just shows, doesn't it, just that one positional shot. Probably just 1/4 inch out from being perfect. From canning the ball exactly how he wanted, and it's cost him his chance in the frame, and may well cost him the frame.
Nick just wanted to be a little bit further over so he could screw back past the second yellow. He still may be able to. Yeah, good shot. Cued it nicely. Wants to leave the cue ball over towards the same side of the table that the yellows are on, just so he can roll round the back of the last one.
You can see him loading it up with
That's fine.
Right inside.
He could even screw it out if he wanted to.
Hmm.
Gonna have to play a little cannon now.
Yeah.
Delicate little shot. These.
Yeah. No, if he hadn't have flicked the yellow on the way
Great
past,
shot.
yeah, that was a really good shot, well controlled. As I was just about to say, if he hadn't have flicked the yellow, it would have been an elementary clearance, but he's made it such anyway, and that really is a nice clearance there from Nick Bell. And for the first time in this final, he goes ahead. He leads 9 frames to 8, and it's going to be his break.
Yeah, that was important to punish Shane there for missing his opportunity, and he did so. Made it look easy that last yellow when it was quite tricky.
Again, while we're in the break, please do like and share this stream. And if you've never visited us before, then please do head across to our Facebook page, Beard Productions, and give us a like.
Just got kicked in off there. The white wasn't going into the bucket directly. Some of the coloured balls have just come and knocked it in. He'll feel unlucky there. I think he's got to go reds with the black on top of that red. And Nathan Overthrow just commenting on what a good quality final it's been. Nathan played in the event and did really well, got through to the last 16. Just run this one through a couple of inches and let the on and off the cushion for the one in the middle.
Good angle.
Just don't want to come too low, too close to the cushion. Otherwise you're cannon in the black off the last round. That is perfect. Nice shot. Yeah, just getting kicked in off there, cost Nick that frame, and Shane's mopped them up nicely.
Yeah. It's good clearance from Shane. He's been under the pump a little bit for the last few frames, with Nick coming back in, snapping at his heels. But now it's just a race to 2. 9 frames each, race to 11. This break becomes very, very big for Shane Thompson.
He's gone back to letting Zach rack the balls for him. Yeah. He started racking them himself for a little while.
Frame, Shane Thompson break, 9 frames on.
John Bishop is acted as the bookie throughout the event. I would imagine that Shane Thompson would be the best result for him, being that he wasn't offering a price on Shane because he owns him in the Calcutta. So not only will he be able to pick up the Calcutta winnings, he won't be handing out too much prize money on the winner, if any, which is a shame because it's nice to bash the bookie. Especially when his name's Bishop, because then you're bashing the bishop.
Not a big fan of that joke, to be honest. I've heard that one a few times.
Oh, of course, sorry, Dan. I've got another bishop sat next to me, in Dan.
Yeah, John's actually my granddad. Gramps, he prefers Gramps.
Oh dear.
I'm worried I'm going to have ginger kids.
I did wonder if he would perhaps go game here. I think he's going to try to. I think he's going to play the double.
Does that red pass the other? Probably not.
No. He's going to play the double. He's going to play at pocket weight. So if he doesn't make it, he takes the bag. And if he plays it dead weight, I think he can just hold for the red above the black as well. So if it does drop, he's got a great chance to the frame. I think maybe that's what he's thinking about now. Yeah, maybe just slightly too much angle to hold. So the plan was to take that in the middle there and then play the double next. But he's underestimated that by. Well, he's not even hit the knuckle, is he?
I think Nick's just going to play a safety shot here. Just looking over at the cluster of 3 yellows on the right hand side. Might try to disturb them a bit and lay a snooker. Having a look at the pot as well. Maybe taking the opportunity to crash into those balls.
Played it as a controlled shot, but
yeah. I think there's a plant on their down
there is, yeah.
side, so yeah, probably just played for that. And he's taken that pocket as well from the one ball.
Yeah.
Shane might just try and take that back here.
I think he's... yeah, he is. Still think he would have dearly loved to have doubled that red across just to get some cover over, if nothing else. Oh, that's not a good shot from Nick. That's really loose. Should have been in behind that little wall of two balls.
Yeah, he's normally very good at that type of shot, but just, like you said, a little bit loose that time. Looking at coming over this off the side cushion and pushing the yellow across towards the other pocket, I think.
Spotted it. Oh, I thought he was going to drop for a second. That would have been a problem. Yeah, he's going down again. He really does want this double.
Yeah, played for it first shot. That's a nice shot as well. He's pretty much perfect there.
But it's one of those, isn't it? If he plays it pocket weight, then he's got the advantage anyway. There's a lot to be gained from playing this shot. Well, he didn't play it pocket weight. He absolutely committed to it. Backed himself to get it, and get it he did, and he's given himself a great chance.
Yeah, just clip this one in the middle. Played for the one in the middle first.
Bit betwixt and between both, I think.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to be straight on the one in the middle so he could screw back somewhere near where the white is now. Just screw down the side of the table for the black in the corner or middle. But
had he landed on the bulk line, he would have had a choice. Still okay. I think you can just screw back. Yep.
He's too straight. He's going to have to screw back in a straight line now.
Yeah.
So lower margin for error again this time. So much easier if he could have just stand up the side of the table.
Yeah, this one is all about the pace. I don't think he doesn't need to use any kind of reverse side or anything. He can just screw straight back. Just the contact point would be around about where his finger is.
Tried to force the angle and stand it. I don't think the angle was there.
I think I prefer screwing straight back. If he lands just above the middle bag, you can screw down into the area to the right of the black.
Wow.
Oh my goodness me, what a ridiculous shot.
What a shot.
What a great shot. Just no problem. Just get down and smash the double in.
Nick will be feeling sick with that one.
Yeah, for sure.
And what a time to do it as well, to get on the hill.
Let's take another look at that one. Overhead camera view. Look at this. Boom, doesn't touch the sides. Brilliant. When it matters as well. Wow. What a huge shot that was.
Yeah, massive shot, biggest shot of the match so far, and couldn't have played it any better. Yeah, the spectators are loving that shot, both in the room and online.
Nick has to make a ball. He's not made a ball. He has not made a ball.
The reds Well, both colours. He could go either way.
Yeah, especially if the two yellows are set to a plant to the left centre. Not that he has to plant them, of course. They go down the bottom corner, but probably makes life a bit easier if they are. If that's set to a plant, I don't think it is. I think it's set to the top knuckle. I think he'll go reds. I think he'll go reds. Especially seeing that overhead camera, there's space above the yellow to pass into that top right hand corner bag. So
Yeah, I like the reds, to be honest. It's one of those where you just wouldn't blame him whichever way he went.
absolutely,
They're both makeable finishes.
definitely make a case for both. Reds it is. The only thing he needs to work out is his path back up table, and he will definitely want to be taking that red at the top of the table as early in the break as he can. He's left himself a nice angle on this one just to the left of the black. He can just screw in a straight line past the middle bag.
Just taking his time to plan his route here.
Yeah, it does. It does need a bit of planning, because the problem is if he does go up table now, then
It's getting back down.
it's getting back down.
Yeah, I'd like to move the red nearest the right and middle before I played that top one,
Yeah,
just so I can.
exactly. Yeah.
I've got something to play on, even if he left it till last, the top one, because it's easy to get on the black from.
I don't think he's gonna. I think he's gonna go up. No, he's not. He's not.
I think he's going to leave it till last.
I think you're right.
Depends on the angle of the neck he creates on the next shot.
Yeah, he should be fine. I think he can just run through. Well, lots of different options.
Yeah, this is the angle I was talking about.
Yeah,
If he's got too much angle to hold it easily, he might go up there now.
yeah. Personally, I would have preferred to see him just run through a couple of inches, play the one that's nearest the black spot into left centre, then play the one to right centre, and then the one to bottom corner, and then sweep back up the table. But it's
Doesn't want to be too straight.
yeah, to make the next shot comfortable, he needs to be down by the middle bag, doesn't he? But I don't think he can get there.
Anywhere around the bulk line, I think I'd still fancy Shane to cue it in.
Yeah, but it just adds that little element of pressure, doesn't it?
Nice shot, yeah.
Yeah, use the yellow there to meant he could play it with more pace, get the white ball further down the table. It's a really nice shot. And now, I mean, from the bulk line, I think this one's missable. From where he is now, I don't think it is, for Shane. Especially the fact that he just needs to drop it in and run the white forward 5 or 6 inches. Or he can play it. Yeah, he could have played it either way.
It's perfect.
Yeah. So, the last rights it feels. And, Nick Bell's put up a great performance this weekend. Just coming up slightly short.
Yeah, that double to get on the hill was the match winner in the end. Well done,
Good
Shane.
stuff from Shane Thompson. He's had a great couple of weekends back to back there, and it's another event. He notches up another title on his name. Well done to him. And commiserations to Nick Bell. That was a great couple of weekends of work from him. And there you see Dan Troughton just walking into shot. He's one of the organisers. Thanks very much to absolutely everybody. Yeah, thanks so much to everybody. We're going to get down for the trophy presentation in a couple of seconds. Thanks to Paul and George from Beer Productions. It's been a real pleasure. Shane Thompson, you see the victor from the weekend. He'll be a happy man, as will his car companion, John Bishop. And thanks to Dan. Thanks for jumping on commentary.
Cheers, Nick. No problem. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, brilliant. What a good day of pool.
Yeah.
Sunday, we're just waiting for them to get the trophy ready. But yeah, very good day overall.
Yeah, really good. Cracking event.
That's the first one, I take it.
I think they've done it before, but never to such a scale.
level,
They've
yeah.
had Forest of Dean Opens before, but
Yeah.
yeah, this is the first time. I think they've opened it up to players outside the Forest leagues, and it's been a cracking event and well supported.
Excellent. Yeah, brilliant. So we're just going to wait for the trophy presentation. We'll be back down there in just a couple of minutes. We'll see you very shortly. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Stick around for that trophy. Okay, here we are. Thanks very much for everyone joining us. Firstly to Nick. Congratulations, Nick, if you want to come over and join me. A valiant effort over the weekend, but just come up short at the end.
Yeah. My brakes were a bit of a killer, but that black on the 9-0, was it?
Yeah.
That pretty much won the match, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, you were kind of out of it early doors, but then you kept battling back, and
7-4 down, I think.
yeah, and then went 9-8 up, and you must have been feeling really good about it then.
Still struggling as well at the same time. Wasn't overly confident, but
But I mean, someone mentioned that you haven't been playing too much recently, and
No,
and just
it's
getting
not.
back into the game. So to make a
Yeah,
final, that's great credit to you.
like 4 months out I had.
Yeah,
Didn't bother picking a queue up.
it's great to see you back in the game, Nick, and well played this weekend.
Right.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Cheers. And to the winner, he just knows how to get across the line. He does it time and time again. Shane Thompson. That's a great couple of weekends worth of work for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Nice bit of pocket money. But no, I was so well played Nick. I think he played really well this weekend. He struggled a bit last week, so good to see him back playing properly.
Yeah. But from your own perspective, I mean, I've said it a couple of times on commentary. You don't mind putting in the miles, you put in the work, and you just missed a consistent when it comes to these events.
I just think if it's worth playing, it's worth going. I mean,
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. To be fair, this ain't that far. It's only an hour and 20 minutes, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world, is it?
Yeah. Congratulations on a really well played weekend. Also, thanks to the organisers for putting on a fantastic event. We've got the main sponsor from Coors. If you'd like to come over and present the trophy. Thanks very much to Coors for their sponsorship over this weekend. Without sponsors, these events couldn't happen. Please, sir. Thank you. And a bit of prize money as well. Good stuff from Shane. Thanks very much. Enjoyed. So that's it from Beard Productions. Again, a great effort from Dan Tratton and the team. That's a great event this weekend, and hopefully we'll be back again in 2020 to do it all again. But from us at Beard Productions and all at the Drysdale Sports Bar, we'll see you again soon. Good night.